and we can start. And are you ready to start?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, I will start with. So, ladies and gentlemen and listeners, we are back in the deep dive interviews with one remarkable personality in the agri-food sector. We're talking about Ramon. Ramon is 56 years old and he's an agricultural engineer. He's married and have a 15 years old son. This is most important because he spent his times in order not only for himself, but the new generation as well. He lives in Barcelona in Spain. And the most remarkable, let's say, point is that he's almost his whole life is dedicated to COMPO EXPERT because he's working for COMPO EXPERT for 31 years. He started working as a product manager in the marketing department of COMPO EXPERT when it was a division of BASF. And since that moment, there have been great changes both in his personal position in the company and in the company itself. He went from product manager to sales manager for Spain and Portugal. Later, he was appointed commercial director of Iberia and Maghreb, the countries around, and currently he is the general manager of COMPO EXPERT Spain with responsibility for Spain, Portugal, and Africa. I think, because I know him, that his greatest strength is that he has gone through marketing, sales, and management departments, and therefore he has a vision of the business from different points of view. Ramon, you are very welcome in that show.
Thank you very much, Christos, and to everybody.
How is the life in Spain in this period of time about the pandemic of COVID-19?
It's getting better. So it's getting better due to vaccination. Now we have a percentage of vaccination, I'd say good, high, and this means that we are getting better. So today I think that we are around at 50% of the people with at least one dose of vaccination. And we expect during August and September to achieve 70. So things are changing. So you can see that things are going again as more or less usual. So it's getting better. Yeah.
This is very nice news. We got nice, at the same level, nice news from other countries like France and Italy and in Greece as well, where the Keys to Microbes program is operating. And let's get through to the interview. Mr. Ramon Pelegri, dear Ramon, can you please give us an overview of COMPO EXPERT Spain and its activities?
Yes, of course. Well, COMPO EXPERT Spain is a company based in Barcelona, in Spain. And from here, we are managing the business of a very big area. So we are managing Spain, Portugal, and all Africa, except Egypt, which is managed from Middle East. But the rest of Africa is also managed from here. So we are talking about a huge area that includes more than 50 different countries. So it's very different countries, very different people, very different technologies. But we have to say that from all this big area, Spain and Portugal today accounts for 90% of the total sales. So it's the main area. We are developing the rest of the areas. Also from COMPO EXPERT Spain, and thanks to the highly qualified people that we have, the teams of marketing, sales, and R&D, we are also collaborating in the development of new products, especially products oriented to fertigation, biostimulation, and biocontrol, where we think we have high possibilities in the future. We are today important in fertigation, and in biostimulation and biocontrol, we think we can be important and we have knowledge. So we collaborate in the development of these new products, let's say. And also we give support to the plant of La Vall d'Uixó. La Vall d'Uixó is a plant that COMPO EXPERT has in La Vall d'Uixó, which is close to Castellón, and we collaborate in the management, let's say, of this plant. So in total, in COMPO EXPERT Spain, we are around 80 people, 50 of them in the plant, in the production plant, and the rest in the marketing, sales, R&D, financial and administration departments. So this is just a view of COMPO EXPERT Spain.
Wow, quite impressive and very wide, let's say, range of products and activities as well. So you said that you are not just only in Spain, you are in Portugal, in Maghreb countries, West Coast Africa. So I suppose that the level of agriculture in those different, let's say, countries or markets, if you like, are not the same. Would you please give us, let's say, a bit more details about the main challenges that they face, those different agriculture sectors in different countries?
Yes, okay. As you said, this big area has very different agricultural situations and technology levels and also commercial point of view. We all share the same problem, or one very big problem, which is the water scarcity. We are in a very dry areas, usually, except some countries, but we are in area, in dry areas, and water scarcity is a problem. And as consequence of this water scarcity, salinity is also a problem. So this is something that we are sharing in all Mediterranean countries, I would say, and probably also in Italy and Greece and in other countries, this is the same. So this is a common problem. Then if we go for Spain and Portugal, for example, we have now a challenge, a very important challenge, that is to adapt the production systems to the new regulation of from Europe, which means we have to reduce the quantity of fertilizers, we have to reduce the quantity of pesticides, and this makes big changes in the way of doing the production of the products in agriculture. So this is a challenge. If we go to Maghreb, they have a medium technical level, so it's increasing, very important. And I would say that there, the problem, usually for us, for example, and also there in the countries, is limitations of registration of the products, legislation of the products. So it's difficult to introduce new technologies in that countries due to legal problems, let's say. And this is something that I think that it's a challenge also. They have to adapt. And for sub-Saharan countries, we are talking about the poorest countries in the world, let's say, there the challenge is to change from the subsistence agriculture to commercial agriculture. And this is the main thing that has to be done in that countries. So I think that different areas, different problems, and in a few words, this is what I think about the challenges of the agriculture in that areas.
This is great, because this great remark from your side, because the salinity or the water scarcity goes hand by hand. And this is not just only the challenges of those, let's say, sectors in different countries, the challenge for the companies like COMPO and other ones about helping those farmers that they have the crops in such kind of, let's say, areas that they will continue to face such kind of problem. I think so.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much about that. So I like to go in another direction before to come back in that in the same level. This question goes that COMPO EXPERT Group, we know very well that it was originated in Germany, okay, but today has been involved in a multinational organization that holds many different cultures, because worldwide you have different cultures. I like to ask you, because you are 31 years with that organization, and you said that so many differences that have happened. How is the feeling to work in such kind of business environment?
Yes, you are right. COMPO EXPERT is a multinational. I think that we are selling in more than 100 countries, so around the world. And I think that this is, for me, this is extremely enriching, to work with different people from different nationalities, from different ways of thinking, cultures, ways of working. So this is really very, very, very interesting. I would say that this is one more of the reasons why our work is so exciting. From here, from COMPO EXPERT Spain, just from here, we have access to more than 50 different countries with 50 different cultures and people and ways of thinking. So our mind has to be absolutely open to everything and to adapt to this. And for example, just an example, in COMPO EXPERT Spain, I think that today we have people from 10 different nationalities working with us. And this is also something very, very nice. So I think it's very important. And I think that this is something very very good for the person and very enriching for the professional and personal people. So I think it's very interesting. For me, it's very interesting. Yes.
Beautiful, because from my side, I can confirm that the last 3 years that I participated, I contributed a bit in the Keys to My Crops project. Actually, I came in contact with all those, let's say, cultures and nationalities, and I see that, yeah, it's quite interesting because the people are basically very ambitious about, and they like to collaborate and coordinate. So this is a nice environment. I will take you in a more practical, a technical aspect, because you are expert in all those areas. 1 out of 3 factors of COMPO EXPERT Group is located in Spain. This is very important because COMPO EXPERT Spain as an organization is quite important and a large organization within the COMPO EXPERT Group. I would like to ask you what products are produced in your factory, and how important is this for COMPO EXPERT Spain that you have the factory within your area?
Yeah. Yes, we have one of the important factories, let's say, in the COMPO EXPERT Group in Spain, in La Vall d'Uixó, close to Castellón, and it's very important for us and for all the group, because there is where the soluble fertilizers for drip irrigation are produced. So brands like Acafos, Vasaplan, Novatex Solu are produced there for all the world. So if you find a bag of Acafos in China, it has been produced in Castellón. So it's worldwide. And this is very important. For COMPO EXPERT Spain is very important also because for us, as I said, Spain is very important. The fertigation, so to have the plant located here, give us extra, let's say, extra facilities, extra things to be important for us. So it's very important. Also in La Vall d'Uixó, we produce other products, not only this one. We produce foliar fertilizers, like the vasfoliars. We pack these fertilizers in 1, 5, 10, 12 kilos. We also pack in 25 kilos. We also have a inhibition plant in La Vall d'Uixó and big bags bagging machine. So it's very interesting, but especially La Vall d'Uixó, we have to say that is known for the production of soluble salts. And I would say that the soluble salt plant in La Vall d'Uixó is the most advanced in the world, because you have to think that the raw materials, when we receive raw materials, when we produce the product, when we package the product, we are doing this in temperature and humidity control systems. So we control temperature and humidity in order to avoid caking problems, which is one of the big problems of this kind of products. So the technology really is very important, and the product that we obtain there is high quality, the best quality in the market, I would say.
Even myself, I mean, I didn't understand how important it is that factor, because you do very great things there, and because COMPO EXPERT is renowned for a leader in the specialty products, not in commodities. And I really understand that specialty means that you have something behind, and probably behind is a lot of knowledge and technology. And you said there, yes, we have technology there. Can you please name 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 5 of them, because I know you have a lot, and give us one more detail on each technology.
Yes, we have different technologies, and we are developing new technologies because we are moving, we have to move. And we are developing new technologies. Today we have things in the pipeline that we are testing. But again, I would say one very interesting technology is Acafos. But imagine, it's Acafos, a very old product, but the production technology is even today important. This production system that we have, the way that we produce. So the production of Acafos, I would say, is a technology that we have and we continue exploring. Apart of this, we have another technologies that are inhibitors of nitrification, that we are putting the inhibitors of nitrification in granular fertilizer, in soluble salt, so in this product, also inhibitors of urease. We have also slow release fertilizers based on Isodur or Crotodur. We have coated fertilizers, Basacote brand, for example. So we have a lot of different technologies, but now we are working very strong in another type of technologies that are soil improvers, biostimulants. So for example, we said this about water scarcity. We have a product that can help us in the production.
I have a special question about that. Don't say that. I have a special question. Don't release your
okay,
right now.
Also for salinity. So we are working now in soil improvers, biostimulants. So in things like this, this is the new era that we are now trying to develop.
Yeah, thank you very much. I ask this question because I try to convince the people that it's not about some commodities. We take some raw materials and we put it in a bag. No, it's not like this. There is a knowledge behind, there is a research and development and a lot of hours of trials in the field. So you describe very well. So a factory is not just only put the raw materials to a sack and then with a pallet to sell it. Thank you very much. Now let's go a little bit about the crops. You are in Spain. For us that we are outside of Spain, we try to understand what is the major crops there. But really, I'd like to ask you, what is the focus of COMPO EXPERT Spain? What crops you focus there?
Exactly. We have defined clearly the focus because we have a lot of different crops and we cannot go to all the crops. We have to focus in the important crops. And we have defined the cash crops. Cash crop for us clearly are citrus, for example, fruits, vegetables in greenhouses or outside, also olives, wine is very important also for us, berries, tropical crops, for example, is very important, especially banana, plátano, which is produced in Canary Islands. So these are the crops. So we are looking for cash crops and we focus there. We have a lot of hectares of cereals, but it's not our focus because we don't have the conditions, productions are very low. So we are going to these cash crops, fruits, citrus, vegetables, berries, olive, vineyard, some tropical crops. These are the main crops that we develop.
Oh, quite interesting because Spain is a place, Spain and not only Spain, okay, we discussed for 15 different countries, are quite agricultural areas that they contribute a lot to the vegetables and fruits. That means is the number one consideration in the European Union because the European Union is the number one consumer of those products. That's why I asked you and I understood that you have clear focus in those, let's say, products. But I would take you from those crops as you said about focus in something that I know very well that you have strategy behind. And I say that because 3 years ago, you have invited us to participate in a very nice, let's say, seminar, a conference actually it was, in Portugal, where you presented the strategies you had about the most critical issue in that area. And this is all about salinated water strategy. That's why I asked you earlier, tell me a little bit about your strategy. Strategy means that you have a philosophy and the products that support this philosophy. Please explain us about that.
Yes. Again, it's one of the main problems now and it will be in the future. So these problems are not just temporary. It will be even more important. We are seeing in some areas that soils have a lot of salinity, the lack of water. So this is something that we have to fight. And this is why, and when we like this, we developed this strategy some years ago that we call 3 points. We say
3 pillars.
Exactly. Water, we have to fight against water scarcity, salinity, and also the nitrogen. And today we can say that we have strategies and we have products to fight against all these factors, very important factors. Here we are talking about inhibitors of nitrification, in drip irrigation, so we can control nitrogen. In water, we have Camasol Aqua, which is a product that you can reduce the quantity of water that you apply, or you can do the water that you apply more effective. And in salinity, we have also Camasol Presal and other products that can help also for the salinity management, let's say. And salinity is very important because sometimes, and it's very difficult to, sometimes it's difficult to detect and to make the diagnosis, because you see a problem, you see one farm where the production is not the desired, and you don't know why. And one of the reasons could be the salinity, that it's not expressed, let's say, easily, but is making a damage in the production. So it's very important. And we are fighting there with very, very good results. So it's something very interesting.
That's why it is so important, because you have a strategy behind it, long term. And I like very much, and all the people must know about that. It's not easy. We have an enemy ahead of us, and we have all together to contribute to this. And you explained very well about the 3 pillars, and there is a lot of work to do there. Thank you about that. I'm taking you from this and just to lead you in something very, let's say, hot as a topic. What is all of that? Well, I'm talking about biostimulants. Last month, we had the pleasure to have with us Mr. Tobias Philipp from COMPO EXPERT Germany, and we discussed about the biostimulants. But from your side, where you have the factory that you produce biostimulants, and I know very well that you are for more than 10 years in biostimulants. My question is, what is the role of the biostimulants as products the next 10 years, and specifically for COMPO EXPERT Spain?
Yeah, biostimulants are very important. So when, as you said, I am working during 31 years in COMPO EXPERT. Some years ago, biostimulants were not important. Anybody take care of about this, but this has changed. And from several years to now, we are giving the importance that this concept and this range of products, biostimulants, have and mean. Biostimulants are growing and will continue growing. Why? Because they work. So when Europe says that we have to reduce the quantity of fertilizer, the quantity of nitrogen, the way to maintain the productions is to give extra something to the crops. And this extra something is biostimulants. And this is something that we can do. So we can maintain, we can increase the production of the crops just giving these biostimulants. So the NPK is the past. Now we are going to the hormonal, to another level. So this is like the game. NPKs is the past page. Now we have to change the page, and this page is biostimulants. And this is why they are growing, because they work. And you can see how they work. You can see the reaction. You can see the plant, the tree. And this is why it's very important. So are growing and will continue growing. And COMPO EXPERT and COMPO EXPERT, we will continue growing in this sector. Clearly, yes. We are very focused there.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is beautiful because biostimulant is not just only a fund. Now it's not a trend. Actually, it will be the future, and it will take a specific role within the plant nutrition and the, let's say, plant protection. Anyhow, exactly. I will take you now and say 31 years old, you started with BASF, then in COMPO, and now you are in the COMPO EXPERT. And COMPO EXPERT means that as you, the name of the company, you are experts. Actually, you are experts about that. I'm sure that. What kind of supporting, what kind of expertise your people provide to your customers? And the second leg of the question is, how important is the technical support for the customers?
Yeah. Technical support is one of the pillars of COMPO EXPERT and COMPO EXPERT Spain. It's one of the pillars, clearly. So we are a company that we don't have a lot of people on the field. We have sales team, but it's not like other companies that they have hundreds of people on the field going to the farmers. We are a small team, but our main task is to communicate, again, to communicate the information, the technology that we have to our distributors, to the technical people from our distributors. And this is something where we invest time and money into do it, because one person from our distributor is talking about COMPO Expert. At that moment, he is COMPO Expert, and he knows the product and the technology. He can explain better the concept, the technology. He can convince better. So we are dedicating a lot of time in training. And this is what our customers ask for. So if we make a survey to our distributors and we put something else, that usually a lot of people say, we want more training. We want more training. So it's something that they are asking from us always. And it's very important for us. It's one of the pillars, I would say. Yes.
Beautiful. So on top of that, I would like to ask you, okay, I understand that you have a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and you try to disseminate and to support the customers, especially the agri-technician, not the farmers directly. But I'd like to ask you, I'm sure that, but I'd like to ask you to give us some more details. Do you have any trials program in place in order to have a more close look about how the products are working?
Yes, exactly. Yes, we make a lot of the trials, but we differentiate two different types of trials. What we could say scientific trials, which is something that is 100% controlled, with repetitions, with statistical analysis. So, and we do this with universities or with very specific centers. This is one kind of the trials that we are doing, our R&D department. And then we have another kind of, let's say, trials, but we say demos, which are just to demonstrate to the customer, to the distributor, to the technical, to the people, that this product works. So it's to take one product, to apply here the product and here not, and to see the differences. So we are doing these two kinds of trials, one more scientific and one more demonstrative. This year, for example, we have implemented a project which is, we call it one customer, one crop, one product. And we take one product. So we go to one customer, one distributor, and say, you are not buying this product for this crop. Let's make a demo. You will make a demo with this product in this crop in order you to see how it works, in order to you to be convinced. We are doing now this, and we have a lot of different demos. We are taking pictures, and also the idea is that the customer, the distributor, will present this to the other people, what I have done and my results. So here is what I have done. This is a project that it's very nice and it's working very well. Again, it's a lot of time, but it's very important, clearly.
Ramon, I would like to ask you, such kind of programs we need to disseminate to other countries as well. I know that works very fine, and that most of the people, they try now with the internet that is very easy to have access. And all those cases are needed to other countries as well, not the other countries that COMPO Expert are operating, but other countries that they pay attention to such kind of, let's say, approach. Congratulations about that, and continue that, and please promise that we will help us to give all the details to disseminate outside of Spain.
You will have all the information clearly, because it's a very interesting project that has to be adapted also to other countries. I think it's very interesting.
Yes, exactly. I'm taking the opportunity right now to ask you a personal question, but as well of some people that they pay attention to what we are doing here as a COMPO Expert. And Spain, I know that has a lot of, let's say, first places. I know that, but you are on top of that, the #1 olive oil producer worldwide, I mean. And you are not just only producer olive oil, but quality, high extra quality, extra virgin olive oil, and a lot of innovation are operated there, are tested there. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, we visited the places you operate, and we understood that the super intensive olive groves. We understood huge areas with super intensive olive groves, and you have experience more than 20 years. Does COMPO EXPERT Spain has any specific nutrition program for that crop? It is critical, this question, please.
Yes. As you said, super intensive olive crop, it's very important in Spain. In Spain and Portugal, we have a lot of hectares. And the concept of the crop, it changes absolutely, 100%. So you go from 100 trees per hectare, the traditional one, or less, to 1,000 of trees per hectare. So the management is different. And yes, we have specific programs for these super intensive crops. If you want to get high production, you have to give a lot of food, and very good food, and in the right moments. So we are doing this with very specific programs from the drip irrigation systems, from the foliar application, the biostimulation of the product, of the plant, everything. And we take in consideration all the things. We also have in mind a project in order to improve the quality of the olive oil according to the nutrition. So we have done this in wine, for example, and we want to do it also in olive trees, in olive oil, in order to say, okay, we can get better olive oil thanks to the nutrition. And this is a project that it's not yet implemented, but we have it in mind, clearly. Yes, and it's very important, the olive trees.
I like to know that because many countries, newcomers are coming in the game, like Australia, like Chile, like Albania. And those countries now, they take the new paradigm like super intensive or intensive olive groves, and they try to produce extra virgin olive oil because this is the most important. And I'm very happy that I see you are ahead of this trend. Let's go now to another trend. And we're talking about the turf. 2 months ago, we had an interview with Dr. Fritz Lord, the global turf manager of COMPO EXPERT, and we had a discussion about sports and public green. I told you, in Spain and Portugal, you are on top of many things. One of them, here you have top football clubs. The top football clubs, from your side, means that those clubs pay special attention because they like to have extraordinary football fields. All right. What is your experience in COMPO EXPERT Spain in this sector?
It's yes, turf is also important for us because we have, as you said, football teams, high-level football teams. We also have golf courses in Spain and in Portugal. I have to say that for the first and second division of football teams in Spain and in Portugal, we have a very good position there. So we are present in most of the on these fields, let's say, clearly. The problem is when you go down, because when you go down, usually the teams, they don't have natural turf, but they have artificial, because the conditions that we have in Spain with the drought that we have, high temperature in summer, make difficult to maintain the natural turf. So this is something that we are seeing, and this is why, for example, we are far away from the level of soccer fields that you can find in France or in Germany. Here we have these high-level teams that they take care of the turf a lot, but when you go to lower divisions, then things changed a lot. But okay, we are working with turf, we are happy, and our position, our market share is important, and we are improving also. Yes, it's important. And yes, in the big ones that you are thinking now, they use our products.
This is very beautiful. This is the magic of this, let's say, science. The agri-technicians, they contribute not only in agriculture, not only in food, but in the public green. That means quality of life in the cities. And in sports club, that means quality of life of the people in the cities. And I like very much such kind of, let's say, possession we have in this area. We talked about olive trees. We talked about turf. Then I like to ask you something. There is a film in the a TV series, not a film. It calls Mar de Plástico.
Yeah.
Mar de Plástico actually is talking about the greenhouses in the large areas in Almeria. And I know that you are the #1 in greenhouses as well, production. And you have conquered all the markets as Spain, I see. But in the countries that COMPO EXPERT Spain is responsible, they have greenhouses as well. So my question is, how important are the greenhouse crops for COMPO EXPERT Spain, and what are the main products you have dedicated to that sector?
Yeah, greenhouses are very important for us also. And the reason is clear, is where you produce the highest quantity of food per square meter. So per year. So it's the highest technical level production and intensity. This means that you have to be there really good in order to produce. You have to know exactly the crop, you have to know the system, you have to know everything. And if you know this, and if you do this well, the results are very good. So in greenhouse, you have drip irrigation. So this is where we are strong. You have also foliar application of biostimulants, stress control, things where we are also good. So it's really important. And it's, as I said, is one of the focus crops. In greenhouses, we are selling products just from like Acafos to Camasol Aqua in order to improve. You talk about Almeria. Almeria is a very dry area. If you can save 1 liter of water, it's good. So this is why we apply Camasol Aqua. You have to manage the water well. If not appear salinity, then we have Camasol Presal. You have to make biostimulation. If one day the temperature is going down, the crop is suffering, then you have to stimulate it. Then we apply, for example, vascular. So we have different products that we can apply there and are very, very important for us. And we have a good position there in that segment of greenhouses, clearly. Not only in Spain, also in Maghreb, where we are growing a lot, and there our position is really even stronger, let's say, due to the small hectares, but strong position from our side. So it's important.
Now we have understood that COMPO EXPERT Spain plays a significant role in olive oil, in olives in general, in turf, in greenhouses, and now a very critical question because I like so much. And this question goes to something that you are the #1 as well in your area. I'm talking about the vineyards. I'm talking about the wine grapes. I'm talking about areas like very well known, like La Rioja, Priorat, Douro Valley. So you produce high quality wines, but I know that high quality wines comes from high quality vineyards. And I'd like to ask you, do you as COMPO EXPERT Spain have any specific program for this nice crop?
Yes and no. We don't have one specific program. We have several specific programs because, as you said, it depends on what the vineyard is going to produce. For example, we have here farms where they can produce 15 to 20 tons of grapes per hectare. So this is one type. It's not high quality wine, but they want to produce it for other purposes. So we have specific programs for this kind of farms. And on the other side, we have high quality vineyards where they want to produce not more than 2 tons per hectare, for example, in order to have excellent wine, where the price will be really very high. And there is where we play the fine-tuning nutrition in order to control the wine quality, in order to give the best quality in the wine. As we said in the olive, in the wine, we know and we have already tested how to get the best quality. So yes, we have different programs for different crops, for different types of vineyards.
What to say? This interview, actually, you have shared with us a ton of knowledge and experience, and we can have more than 2 or 3 hours to discuss about that, but the interview must close somewhere here. I would like personally to thank you for all the support you have done up to now with the Keys to My Crops project. I like to share that to all of us that COMPO EXPERT Spain is the initiator organization with the other COMPO EXPERT organization in the Mediterranean, and you have attracted new COMPO EXPERT organization in this program. I know that this program, it is not so easy to be in operation because we're talking about different countries, different markets, different approaches, different cultures. But as you said in the beginning, this is quite challenging to work in such kind of organization. Thank you very much about that, but the stage is to you. And if you have any special message and you like to share with the audience of Keys to My Crops project, please do that.
I like just to say one more thing.
Yes.
Bet on organic farming and biostimulants and biocontrol. This is the future.
This is the future. So we have to pay attention to that and to follow everything you do, even from your website or all the social platforms.
Yes.
And thank you, Ramon. It was a great pleasure to have you in the show. Thank you.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Now we have finished. My man, I know that people like you, we must have 3-4 hours of such kind of, that's why I would like to ask you again in the future to participate, because it was just only the introduction. We have to take, let's say, a specific topic and to open up. I know that you have done quite so interesting job and the people have no idea about. You said about the 3 pillars. This program has to be distributed all over the world because this is the main problem. You said something about the technologies. I asked you about the technologies because I know that most of them, they will contribute to the green deal of the European Union. I know that you have all the answers when the people, they say reduce 25% of the fertilizers. Okay, we have biostimulants. Reduce the pesticide, no problem, we have this. Reduce about the leakage of nitrogen, we have the products. Let's talk a little bit about water. You have the answers.
Yeah. Yes, it's like this. It's like this. So, Christos, we try to go in advance with, we think that we have a clear idea that what will happen. And we have to be prepared today, not after it happens. So, and this is why we try to advance and to go fast in these things, because it's just to read what is happening today, to think what will happen tomorrow, and to adapt today, not tomorrow. And it's like this. But Christos, one thing is to explain, and the other thing for some people, let's say, is if they want to listen to the message that we have to say. And this is one of the problems sometimes that we have internally, and you know perfectly.
I know that with my, let's say, my way is trying to send the message to some people, as you describe in other countries, that they have no idea. They lead the organization, but they have no idea, a clear focus as you have. And those guys, they must know that you have the clear. I know it takes time and energy. I know about the politics. I understand about the daily life, but someday you have to do it. You have 31 years. This is incredible. From now on, the average will be just on 2 years or 3 years in a company. And you are 31 years and they don't take advantage from you. Unbelievable. You are a treasure from the company. You know everything. And the people, they don't understand about that, or they don't care. Because if you have somebody that is interested about that, you have everything. That's why I'm doing this interview, for the people that they pay attention. The people that they don't pay attention, they don't like, it's a waste of time. But some other guys, they have open ears.
Yeah, no, and this is something that also to the organization, I try to expand. Always listen, always to see, because we think that we know everything, but we don't know everything. We have to look what is happening to other companies, other people, other organizations, in order to have always a lot of inputs. And with these inputs, we have to process and to give our solutions. And this is very important. Open mind. Open mind.
Beautiful. Ramon, I have two, I'd like to ask you two favors to me.
Okay, tell me.
First one, to send me right now the 3 Fandos songs that you like the most, the link. And the second one is to promise to me that when you will come in Greece, to give space for me about 2 or 3 hours as a Christos.
Perfect.
Because I like to be my guest, because I have something in my mind, because you have influenced me, and I like to give something back, because you have helped me too much. Please, it's not just only business point of view, because I don't know how long we will be together, but as a Christos, I'm so happy that I met you. And I like next time to be, just to make time for me 2 or 3 hours, just to be Ramon and Christos.
Christos, it's done. Absolutely.
Beautiful. So I'm expecting the 3 Fandos songs that you love the most.
Okay, three songs.
The 3, 1, 2, 3 that you like the most. You personally, not the most beautiful or the most representative you like. Please send me the links.
I will send to you. Okay, perfect.
Have a great.
Thank you very much.
Thank
a pleasure.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch. Bye bye.
Wait a minute, just to take a picture of you.
Okay.